Great morning and welcome to the Wealth Warrior Group broadcast. My name is Brent Harding. I am your host and I am excited to share with you credit is smart money. Yes, it is. You are watching our 10th segment for the year and I am enthusiastic about that. Actually, it's not the 10th segment of the year, but it's the 10th segment of us reformatting ourselves. So I hope that you like the information that you're hearing because you're going to get more. This episode is brought to you by BrentHarding.myecon.net. Yes, that is BrentHarding.myecon.net. So I am going to hit the keys and say welcome again to the WW Wealth Warrior broadcast, and I am really very excited about that. With that being said, let's get this party started. And how do we get this party started? Well, we get this party started by sharing with you, very first thing, hit the share button. Let me bring that over. Hit the share button on your phone and share the broadcast with everybody, because guess what? It is going to be a power-packed broadcast this morning. We have got a lot going on and I am thrilled. Yes, I am thrilled. Okay, with that being said, what are we talking about this morning? Well, we are talking about the Smart Money Kit that you can find on, guess what? MyEcon. All you have to do is go up to BrentHarding.myecon.net, and guess what? You can open up the information. It is really pretty exciting. As I shared, this entire month is totally about credit is smart money. And I know that there are many a person that will say, hey, Brent, back in the day, you used to say that cash was king. And we talked about that last week. Well, guess what? I am now expanding my attitude. And in fact, no, I'm not expanding it. I'm throwing it out and I'm saying, let me share something with you that credit is now king. Attempt to go and get a mortgage and you will find out how quickly credit is in fact king. Our credit scores are, all I can say is I'm going to share that with you in just a few minutes. So with that being said, first segment, we are going to be talking about smart money, the Smart Money Kit. I'm going to give acknowledgments. We're going to go from there into the Smart Money Kit, but deeper. What do you get in your Smart Money Kit? Got a lot of announcements to make. And then, of course, we always want to be dealing with what are the economists saying. And then we're going to recap and say, guess what? We had an awesome morning. So first things first, let me go ahead and put the smart money in here. .net, and let me go ahead and put that up so people know where to go to find the information that we're discussing today. Okay. Credit scores. At a time, I used to share with you that you could really get away with about a 650 credit score. Those days are gone. In fact, right now, a good credit score is considered 700. How do I know? I pulled my credit report recently. Oh, that's how you find out. That's one way. Now, what you're seeing is 750 is considered a very good credit score. And in fact, when you become a member of MyEcon, when you pick up your membership to the MyEcon system, it shows you, it starts off when you open up the Smart Money Kit, it will show you, it'll say 750 right off the bat, so that you know that that's where this is driving to, that 750 is now considered the point at which your lenders are going to go, okay, this person is really live. This person is someone that we can do business with. They pay their bills. They understand how pivotal and important credit is. So I am emphasizing that. And when you go up there, it is going to, you have tutorials that will teach you what that 750, what it means, how to get to that 750, because it's just that important, that it's just that poignant. So why is there a driver now for the 750 credit score? Well, again, it goes back, it speaks volumes of our credibility. Are you credible? Do you pay your bills? When a mortgage lender is looking at your totality, they look at your character. Who are you? Do you pay your bills? They look at your credit score. That's evidence that you pay it. They look at how much cash you have to put into the deal. And then they look at the totality of you. Those 3 C's make a significant difference. Your character, your credit, your cash, because cash is important. So you've got your cash, you've got your credit, you've got your character. All of those become you. And you're saying, well, hey, I'm so much more than that. Yes, you are. However, for the purposes of money, for the purposes of wealth, for the purposes of why we are warriors, and I have a dear friend who calls us Wakanda warriors. So I want to give a shout out to Deirdre Sims in California. She says, I got Wakanda warriors. We are wealth warriors. And part of that is that we need to be vigilant. And credit is about vigilance, because I'll tell you what, credit walks in front of you. In fact, when you look at yourself, credit score is sitting right on your forehead. And it is when we are talking to lenders. So how do you get to a 750 credit score? That we're going to be talking about in the next segment. Now, I want to give some acknowledgments out. I want to say, Joyce Swinson, woo! You are an early riser. I want to give, and she is the domestic early riser, because we've got an international early riser. Trinidad is in the house. I want to give a shout out to Jacqueline Burgess. I love you, girl. I hope to see you before the year is out. We've got event ambassadors who provide complimentary service to our broadcast and to events. So I want to give a shout out to both Albertha Bogan and Regina Jones Jenkins. Ladies, you two rock. We have a new event ambassador who is actually going to be a broadcast ambassador. I want to welcome aboard and give a shout out to Nelly Rosario, who is going to be joining me on broadcast as well. She's going to be specific to the broadcast. So when you have an opportunity, go up to our Facebook page at Wealth Warrior Group and show some love to these ladies, because they give of themselves on behalf of the things that I am doing, and I am grateful to them for their services. And you know what? It's a give and take. You know, it is always about how can I support you? They support me, and in turn, my role is to support them as well. So I am so delighted to give an acknowledgement to them. I want to give an acknowledgement to Boss Lady News, Britt Johnson. We were together last evening. I'm going to tell you about that in just a moment. Also, I want to give a shout out to Urban Niche, and it is headed up by Miss Toussaint, Miss Ruggiera Toussaint. So I want to give a shout out about that. Last night, I attended the celebration, the 50-year celebration of Basic Black, which is out of Boston, Massachusetts. It's broadcast through WGBH. They have won 28 Emmys in the 50-year history, the longest running PBS WGBH broadcast that speaks to the life and style and times of African American people and people of color in Boston, Massachusetts, and throughout all of Massachusetts. I want to give a shout out to the cast. Awesome reception, really appreciated. I met the legendary, oh my goodness, I just had a break, Jim Boyd. Yes, it was extraordinary. Saw Ted Lewis there. Oh my goodness, Kelly Chun, want to say hello to you as well. I mean, it was just an awesome, awesome time. So I want to again reiterate how wonderful it was to be at that event. With that being said, want to again reiterate, hit the share button. Oh, let me make sure I'm on the broadcast when I say that. Hit the share button. Why? So that you see myself right there. Hit the share button so that others can get a view of the broadcast, because you know what? We've got solid information here, solid news, solid stuff that people should be talking about. And sometimes we do not talk about those things, and we do not talk about them maybe because we've got issues with our credit. We've got issues around building wealth. I remember hearing some of the statements that money doesn't grow on trees. And so as a result of that, we internalize that information and we don't grow beyond our neighborhoods. We don't grow our wealth. We don't share these things with our children. Guess what? Money doesn't grow on trees. It grows in our pocket. It grows in the investments that we make. And that's why I get up on Saturday morning to talk to you, because money can grow. It's where it grows. So again, with that being said, Smart Money Kit, you have the opportunity to actually get a Smart Money Kit. All you have to do, membership has its privileges. And you can go to brentharding.myecon.net. Take a look at the information. I know that Angie took a look at the information, and we're going to be meeting up so that she can get her membership. And it is about having the right tools, having the right information. Every receipt that I get, I can put it right in my phone. I know what my economy is. Do you know what your economy is? Because guess what? It's not about me. It's about you. Now, how do you DIY your credit? In some instances, I want to say, why would you want to do that when there is another way? There's somebody else that can do that for you. But I get sometimes why we want to DIY it. And sometimes we want to do it ourselves, do it yourself, DIY. We want to do it ourselves so that we understand how to do it. And then we want to engage other people to make that happen. And I get that. Now, from that perspective, yes, DIYing it is a very good thing. And so to that end, one of the very first things that I'm going to say is pull your own credit report. Pull your own report. You can pull it by going to a service, but we already have that when you, in fact, get your Smart Money Kit. You want to get a copy of your credit report. I'm going to submit to you that you want to get two versions of that. You want to get the version that you can get as a result of working with the Smart Money Kit. And then you also want to go to the credit bureau directly. Now you say, Brent, why would you want to do that? Well, because when you go to the credit bureau directly as you, a person, then you are going to get more depth on that report than you may get when you are actually getting it through the system. So you want to get both of those reports. Now, I want you to hear something real quickly, because at some point I'm going to hit the stop sign and I'm going to say, whoa, hold up. Right now, I'm giving you a foundation. So I just want you to hear it and take the notes. But I am going to come back and deal with a little bit more. So I am saying you want to pull your personal credit report. You want to compare both of those. And what you are looking for, you want to get out the great highlighter, and you want to highlight the information that is inaccurate. And I got to tell you something. Please do that, because recently I had to do that for myself, and I found some stuff out on that report, especially around my address. And I had to make sure that that stuff got cleaned up, that those addresses were correct. You want the most up-to-date information on your report, because again, what is credit? Credit is smart money. We will never have as much money as we have when we have credit. Credit begets credit, and it gives you more access. Wouldn't it be phenomenal to put a down payment on a piece of investment property with a credit card? to be able to do that and to be positioned so that you can pay it back immediately, but it gives you access. That's the point. You might have a credit card that has a $20,000 line of credit on it that you could actually go and put some money down on a piece of property and be positioned to you might want to flip that property or you might want to keep it. It is just such an extraordinary way of access. Access begets more access, but you got to start someplace. And so here's the tool. You can DIY to a certain point, or you can get membership and engage and get the issues resolved professionally. With that being said, the first point of contact is about getting information. Information is king, and so few of us get it. I actually started at the beginning with, let me check out for myself, and then let me move forward and engage someone else to pick up where I left off. So hashtag DIY your credit. I want you to put that, somebody put that in the Wealth Warrior broadcast feed. Hashtag, in fact, what the heck, put it in there. Hashtag DIY credit. Bingo. Good morning, Regina Jones-Jenkins. Let me hit you up with some love. She just popped in. She is one of our event ambassadors. I will see you this afternoon at 4 o'clock, and you know where. The event ambassadors are getting together for a powwow around what we're doing going forward, and I am excited. I have to tell you, one of the things I appreciated about Regina is she said, Brent, you don't need to sell me. You don't need to give me any details. Just where do I show up? I love that attitude. And Alberta will be joining us, and we likely will have a new person with us as well. So excited. Uh-oh, she gave me the red shoe. She knows what that red shoe means. I'm going to show her some love on that red shoe. I love it. So back to what we were talking about in that Smart Money Kit, DIY your credit. Open up, get the credit report. Why? So that you can actually get the information that you need to get. And you can prepare yourself. You can pick up the documentation. If you've got documentation that says that information is inaccurate, then put your file together. And it's interesting, paper still is king. Because what a bureau is going to ask for is your documentation. When you go through the process of resolving your credit, the first thing it's going to ask you for is documentation. Where's your license? Do you have a social security card? Do you have a passport? It's asking for that information, one, so that you identified you. That's one. Second, so that you can substantiate that information. Because right now we are living in such a litigious society that people are suing up for the drop of a hat. And creditors are becoming much more cognizant. So they are looking for that documentation. They are intimately involved with the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Another element. Pick up a copy of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Get your copy so that you are familiar with the laws that govern credit. And here's the deal. I want you to understand that when you engage somebody to do the work, or whether you you decide to do the work yourself, you will need to understand the laws that are governing that information so that you are standing up for yourself. And one of the beauties of the Smart Money Kit is it's going to teach you how to DIY yourself. It's going to give you a step-by-step process. And I believe it's important for us to understand the step-by-step process ourselves. Why? So if ever we should decide that we want somebody else to handle this, we know what they are doing. And we get what they're doing. First steps, and I'm going to say them, reiterate once again, stop. Thank you. The reason I want you to stop is I want you to understand what I'm sharing with you. Please do not go beyond what I am sharing with you unless you do not go beyond it, unless you actually have a kit and you are actually working on this. And the reason why I say this is because sometimes people have been known to jack it up. Why? Because they decided to do things. They didn't understand what they were doing, and they made a situation worse. You watching the news here these days? You watching some of the folks that are making things worse than what it was in the beginning? Yes, they are. You know what I'm talking about. And with that being said, I'm going to encourage you. Step one, get a copy of your own credit report. Take the infamous highlighter and highlight the inaccuracies. Then find the documentation that supports what you say is supposed to be the accurate so that you can prepare yourself. If you have made payments and the payments aren't noted, there you go. If you were not 30 days late and you fell within the grace period, you want to be able to support that information. Real important. And I'm going to share something with you. If you do what I do, which is to pay online, make sure you're keeping the file, you're keeping a copy of that in or on your computer. I have files set up for every payment that I make through any place that I'm making it through. Download it, upload it, and keep that information because that is your electronic documentation. Make sure you're backing your system up because I'll tell you what, there was a time when I was not backing up. And what's the point in putting it on there if you don't back it up? Now I've got a piece that's about this size and I am backing things up. An apparatus to keep all of that data really right at hand because you never know when you are going to need that. Once you have that information together, then you can really start to deal with the issues. Be sure to get a copy of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. I will tell you something. During my mortgage years, I knew that Fair Credit Reporting Act so well, attorneys called me to interpret what was the law. Woo! You talk about my ego being up there. Woo! It was high. Okay, it was very high. I'll tell you, Regina is on it. She is putting information in the feed just for you. So do take that information to heart. Please follow what she is sharing with you. And stop. After you've done that, stop and make decisions on how you are going to move forward to clear and build up your credit report. Now, I will tell you, one of the beauties of the Smart Money Kit that I have found is they've got great nuggets, not little nuggets, great nuggets on how to move or how to pump up your credit score with speed, when you should do things, what date you should expect, what date to follow up, so that you really can put the meat on the bone and bring that score up, bring everything up fast. And that's what you want to do. You want to bring the scores up fast. Now, if you are international, then guess what? It still works because there is some scoring that creditors or vendors use. Become an expert at how credit is handled, whether it's domestic or international. How are they lending? What are the parameters? I do know one thing. I know that Jackie Burgess in Trinidad knows how it works. And in many instances, what I have found is internationally, they're a bit tougher. They are clearly a bit tougher on how you are doing business and what your scores are and how much they are willing to lend. I'll tell you, I have found that it is a heck of a lot more intense than you have ever thought. So, what will you do to improve your credit score? You've got the tools. The tools are very definitely there. Utilize them because this is about creating wealth. And then teach your children, teach your grandchildren so that it is better for them than it was for you and I. Does that make sense? Because it's about each generation. It's about making it better for the next generation. Can you imagine the picture on the wall of auntie so-and-so, grandma so-and-so, and you, them being able to push back, to point to their heroes, their sheroes that made the lifestyle better for them. I'm just saying. I hope I put some meat on the bone for you this morning. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Announcements. That's right. Got announcements. May 15th, this Tuesday, Brent Harding is going to be speaking at the Microsoft Center at the Prudential Building in downtown Boston. I'm going to be talking about getting your life back better. If you've had challenges, if you have found yourself having to restart, have to re-identify yourself, having to re-emerge yourself, then maybe there are some things going on that you need to transform through so that you are not re-emerging, so that you are being the best that you can be. This is a 3-part series, by the way. And I am going to be doing that during the lunchtime set. It's going to be a moving 60 minutes. I am so psyched. That's going to be on Tuesday, May 15th. It will be at 12 noon, from 12 to 1 p.m. during the lunch set, so that you can walk over to the Prudential Center. Look, do not stop and shop. Come to the Microsoft Center, okay? Excellent, excellent, excellent. I know that Boss Lady News is going to be there. That's Britt Johnson. I've already seen her. I've already seen that she has registered. So go ahead and register and join us for the 12 to 1 set. That's May 15th, Tuesday, 12 to 1 at the Microsoft Center. The next evening, Wednesday evening, is the Networking and After Party 5. Can you believe it? Networking and After Party 5. That's at the Point, 147 Hanover Street in downtown Boston. We'll be on the 2nd floor. This event is for individuals who want to expand their circle. You'll probably see Tom Mahoney there. In fact, it was so interesting. Tom, if you are watching, I just want to share with you that somebody asked me Wednesday, when I was teaching a class, a professional development class. They said, that guy who networks everywhere. No doubt you will see Tom Maloney on Wednesday evening. If you are new to Boston, if you want to expand your circle, if you want to connect with people and build relationships, then Wednesday night you want to be with us at the Point. That's at 147 Hanover Street in Boston, Massachusetts. We will be on the 2nd floor. That's from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Parking is around the corner on Blackstone Street, or you can park in the Boston Public parking lot, which is above the Boston Public Marketplace, or take public transportation, get off at the Haymarket stop, and we are just across the street. Yes, that is May 16th, Wednesday, 6:30 to 9 p.m. at the Point for the Networking and After Party 5. On May 23rd, I will be getting together with Rogira Toussaint. I will be speaking at the Small Biz Buffet. That's in Cambridge, Massachusetts. You can go up to Eventbrite and you will see the tickets for May 15th, for May 16th, for May 23rd. And that event is at 6 p.m. and it is the Small Biz Buffet. And I am looking forward. I'll be the opening speaker and I will be talking about Brent working. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And I just want to give a shout out. I see Nell Rosario is up on the feed. And also I saw Janice McManus. She was at Basic Black. Janice, it was so good to see you. I hadn't seen you in so long. I just want to say, loved it, loved it, loved it. And I know that you enjoyed that event. Quite a celebration, quite a celebration. And then on May 24th is the pre-launch of Brent Working. Yes, that is an 8 a.m. event. It will be at Northeastern. It will be at the JP, Jamaica Plain Artist Loft. I am so enthusiastic. Loretta Baines will be with me for that event. It's going to be at 8 o'clock in the morning from 8 to 9:30. And Brent Working is significantly different from the networking event on the 16th. Brent Working is about being in the room and making the deal happen in the room. I'm going to be sharing techniques for making that happen when you go to other networking events, and it is hashtag Brentworking. So we will be doing that on the 24th. That's at 79 Armory Street in Jamaica Plain. There is on-street parking. There is some parking in the rear of the building. And again, that is one of my signature events. And we will be sharing with you, we're going to create some exclusivity around that event. And so you want to be there to get the details. And that is on the 24th. I will be posting all of this information inside the feed. We want to see you there. Yay! For that one. Thank you for putting the Brentworking in there, Regina. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, baby. I think I'm going to pin that comment to the top. I love it, love it, love it. We are now going into segment 3. Before we do, want to encourage you to share. Hit the share button. This is information that's complimentary. Give. There are things that we can give that are priceless. This information, ladies and gentlemen, is actually priceless, and you want to be a part of it. The information can be found at brentharding.myecon.net. You can pick up your own membership, and the beauty is there is so much that's bundled. Are you paying for a roadside service? It's included in the monthly fee. Are you paying for legal services? You're paying a monthly? Guess what? It's bundled in there. Credit repair. Some people are paying as much as $99 a month for credit repair. Guess what? It's bundled in there. I like to shop online. Guess what? We have a store on, we have a site as a part of our MyEcon that has all kinds of vendors in there. And when you actually purchase from yourself, you get a check. Wouldn't it be great to offset your membership fees with the checks that come back from the purchases that you make? In fact, this morning, I walked outside and one of our tenants, actually all of her food was sitting on the porch. And guess what? She could have been, so I'm going to talk to her. She could have been getting a check back. Instead of giving, she gave and got back. Wouldn't you like to be able to do that? You can when you are actually a member, when you've got membership. That's what I mean. Membership has its privileges. Yay! So with that being said, hey, let's talk about what are economists saying today. Well, I want to share with you what economists are actually saying. They are talking about the culmination of trends. And right now, what they're encouraging us to understand is the long trend. So what does that mean? For example, household income. And household income actually rose by 5.2% in 2015. It rose in 2016. However, it rose less. It was at 3.2% in 2016. Now, right now, unemployment is at an all-time low, 4.1%. That just didn't start yesterday. That was a long trend that we know came through the Obama era, and it is actually continuing through this period of time. Here's the concern that economists have, is that we are getting so hepped up that we are almost on instant coffee when it comes to the trends that are going on. We're expecting that everything that has to do with unemployment is going to go down. We're expecting the economy to go up. And what's the difference between instant coffee versus brewed coffee? Is there a difference in the taste? Why will people go out and buy brewed coffee when, guess what? They could be making it from home, but yet they will go out and do that because there is a difference in the taste. There is a difference in the feel. And so what is happening is people are recognizing and understanding that, or rephrase, economists are recognizing and understanding that people are not seeing this as it was a long trend that at some point has to have a culmination. That goes back to what we talked about last week, and that was the bell curve. What goes up at some point does what, ladies and gentlemen? It will either have a downtrend or it will have a dip. It goes down and then it pulls itself up. However, gravity does pull things down. You cannot stay in a state of inflation forever. You cannot stay at a recession forever. And everything that is great cannot stay great all the time. It will have movement. Why? People, you and I, we are part of this. We make up the difference between why things happen and why they do not happen. And so economists are saying to us, look, check out the long trends. Do not get so amped up that you're not paying attention to the important things. So what's important? Important is clearing out your debt. That is an important one. So I decided I'd start with 5. Clearing out your debt. Important is saving for yourself. Not only saving for yourself, saving for your retirement. Because guess what? Retirement comes whether we want to or not. We can look fabulous if we want to. But at the end of the day, we are still getting older, yes? So it's clearing up your debt is critical. Saving your income by reducing expenses, critical. Pay attention to, I'll tell you what I did. Pay attention to when you use that infamous debit card, because you can wake up and you can see cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. You have spent. Retire it for the rest of the day. Retire it for the month. Use some cash. I promise you, you will have a hard time breaking that $100 bill. That $100 bill will stay in your pocket a lot longer than if you left that debit card in your pocket. So it's important for us to do that. We can do that through something called Cash Manager, which, again, another benefit of the MyEcon system. Invest in things that are important, things that you do. Wherever you are doing your grocery shopping, if they are a publicly traded company, invest in them. Now, understand this, I am not giving out investment advice. I am an entrepreneur of 20 plus years, so I'm speaking to experience, and I am sharing with you the possibilities and the realities. For more information about investing, go on up to brentharding.myecon.net and get the tools from the experts. I am an expert at sharing information with you. How do you like that? So again, we want to reduce debt. We want to save. We want to invest. And invest smartly. Those are 3 keys that not only we can do, we can pass it on to the next generation. Now, I tell you what, I'm going to share with you right now. I know I'm not preaching to the choir, because if I were, every single one of you watching this broadcast today and watching the rebroadcast would be a member. You'd have your membership by now. So I'm not preaching to the choir. I'm going to keep on preaching it until you get it. Until you get it. Because our economy, that's why it's my economy, your economy. It is about us. We've got to invest smartly. I got to give it to Regina. Regina, I love you, darling. She is making sure that what I'm sharing with you is getting into the feed. I am appreciating that so very much. Well, I'll tell you what, we are near the quarter of the hour. Let's do a recap. What did we talk about today? Before we do the recap, share so that other individuals will at least get the recap right now, and then they can go back and watch the broadcast. Our theme for the entire month of May is credit is smart money, and it is smart money. I cannot emphasize that enough. And so with that being said, we talked about the Smart Money Kit that is on the MyEcon system. I encourage you to go up to brentharding.myecon.net, take a look at the site and figure out if it's the right fit for you. Segment 1, credit scores. Your credit score needs to be 750 or higher to do business with the best interest rates possible. Creditors, there was a time when 650 was a score that you could get a decent mortgage with. Now it is all about the 750, and guess what? Lenders and creditors and vendors got no shame in their game when they say that. They're saying that is the score. Why? Because they figure that at a 750 credit score, your character is spoken for because you have gotten because it's very easy to see rather that you pay your bills, that you probably have some cash set aside, that you have credentials, you have a job, or you have a way of doing business that's bringing in the income that is causing that score to be what it is. And so you have an opportunity to go up and get that credit score through the My Econ system. We gave acknowledgments. Joyce Swinson is the early riser. She got in before I did this morning. Holy smokes. I'm going to have to rise earlier so that I can beat her to welcome you to the broadcast. Our international early riser was none other than Jackie Burgess out of the Trinidad country. Yay! Beautiful. It is awesome this time of year. Hot. Very hot. Event ambassadors, Regina Jones-Jenkins, Albertha Bogan. I show my love for them because they rise to the occasion. They provide complimentary service, and it's a quid pro quo. We are giving back to each other. Want to welcome aboard Nelly Rosario. She is going to be joining us as a broadcast ambassador, and I am truly psyched for her. And no doubt she will be connecting with Regina because Regina feeds our feed, if you will. Want to give a shout out to Britt Johnson from Boss Lady News. I was with her last night for a celebration, and that was celebrating 50 years of Basic Black. WGBH, 28 Emmys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Want to give a shout out to Ruggiera Tucson from Urban Niche. Oh, it's just a marketing company. Love her to death. We will be together next week and the week after. Segment 2, we talked about smart money, the smart money kit in DIY, doing it yourself to raise your credit score. Some key things that you can do initially, and then you really want to be about the business of working through tools. There are tools on the Smart Money Kit that are going to help you to get that resolved. They're going to help you to raise your credit score to that 750. So I wanted to give a shout out and hello to her. Now, there is a whole list of people that I want to give a shout out before I wrap it up. I want to give a shout out to Dr. right out of California, up in the morning. So you know, if you were there at 9, she had to be there at 6. Julius Joseph, thank you for chiming in. The following people actually chimed in on the broadcast early this morning. That was Julius Joseph. Also, Tasha Reminari. I hope I'm saying that right, Tasha. If I'm not, please cue me in so that I say that properly. Want to say good morning to Greg Smith, Chantel Bethea out of Worcester, Massachusetts, Valerie Hall, hello there, Patricia Juby, Isaiah Parsu, Montrella Galbraith, Megan Dunas, Greg Smith, Sharon Stone, LaShawn Early. Thank you all for checking in and showing me some incredible love. I really do appreciate that. I want to share with you announcements. Hope to see as many as possible on May 15th, although there are only 20, it's only seats 20 in that space at the Microsoft Center. That's on Tuesday, 12 noon. That'll be at the Prudential Center. You can get tickets on Eventbrite. Again, Tuesday, the 15th, 12 noon, I will be talking about how do you get your life back better. On the 16th, the following evening, Wednesday, we will be at The Point. It is the after party the networking after party 5 at The Point, 147 Hanover Street, downtown Boston, on the second floor. That will be from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Again, tickets, Eventbrite. The 23rd, I will be the opening speaker at the Small Biz Buffet. Tickets on Eventbrite. That's at 6:30 in the evening. That'll be at Cambridge, Massachusetts, and it's actually being hosted by Ruggiero Toussaint. And on the 24th, the pre-launch of Brent Working. We are cutting deals in the room. It's going to be from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. This is a follow-up, or it's an intro as a result of the speaking engagement at the Dudley Main Streets event. I want to say, showing some love for Dudley Main Streets as a result of you, we are launching Brent Working. Going to be very, very exciting. Wow, I think I covered everything that I was supposed to cover. With that being said, I want to thank everyone for being on the broadcast. I want to give special thanks to Regina Jones-Jenkins for serving as our broadcast ambassador today. Want to give a shout out again and a thank you to Regina, as well as Albertha Bogan, we will be together this afternoon, and we will be talking about raising up our event ambassadorships. And want to welcome aboard again Nellie Rosario, who is going to be a broadcast ambassador going forward with me on Saturday mornings. I do appreciate all of you, because without you, I wouldn't be here. So with that being said, I want to say, go out today, be absolutely extraordinary, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye now.